Hi, team. I'm Mark with Ambition, and today we're going to talk about coaching. How do you drive consistent, actionable coaching across your organization? Well, the first step in understanding is coaching actually happening? Likely it is, but is it documented? And if it's documented, is it metric driven? And if it's documented and hopefully metric driven, how are you tracking the action and outcomes? How do you know if your coaching is actually working? Well, that's what we're going to talk about here today. And let's dive right into how a customer and Ambition would do that. All right. Well, welcome to Ambition. And here is Carson Suarez. He is one of the account executive team leads. So let's take this from the vantage point of a frontline manager. If you don't know, the frontline manager is the force multiplier of your business. So enabling them around a coaching motion is huge for driving initiatives. Well, Carson comes in here and looks at productivity. He's trying to understand who on his team is performing, like Yolanda Santiago, and who's really struggling, like Caleb Franco. So, for the purpose of this coaching exercise, let's talk about Caleb and let's dig into what's going on with Caleb and how Carson might help him. So, let's go to Caleb's coaching tab and let's see what is Carson coaching Caleb on. Well, here in Ambition, living inside of Salesforce can also live outside of Salesforce. We see Caleb's coaching timeline with Carson. Carson spoke directly about underperformance. He asked him to review a proposal template. And Caleb asked Cora to add something to her to-do list in return. Now, what I want to focus in on is the one-on-one conversation between Caleb and Carson and how that one-on-one conversation can hopefully improve Caleb's performance. So here inside of Ambition, we've reviewed that coaching history that you just saw. Now we're into a one-on-one conversation. And it's not just Caleb and Carson. They also have Robert, Caleb's second line manager, Carson's boss, with visibility into the conversation, alignment from top to bottom. Well, here's an example of serving up a Gong call into a one-on-one conversation through our integration with Gong, where Caleb admits that he really struggled through this call and needing help follow up. He spoke too fast and too much because he got nervous. Well, the two of them can review that call together here inside of Ambition. We also have a metric-based question that's pulling in how many appointments he held last week. Well, unfortunately, he didn't hold any appointments. And so we have this being surfaced inside of the one-on-one. Another example where we might have a rating question or boxes to be checked based on the type of question being asked. Well, all of this is being automated through Ambition, sent on behalf of Carson and Robert to Caleb, where Caleb fills out this coaching conversation and submits it back to his manager. Now, let's say Caleb has been struggling enough, and we go over into his metrics tab. We take a quick look at how he's doing versus other account executives for this quarter, for example. And we want to see, hey, how does he stack rank versus his peers? Well, unfortunately, in this heat map of metrics, yeah, Caleb's not doing very well. He's 6 out of 6 on almost all metrics for his team. Well, that's when you might go into an action plan and create a metrics-based action plan to drive Caleb's performance further. You might also go create a goal for him for this next week in order to make up for the metrics that he's behind on. But what's important to remember here is that we are enabling Carson, the frontline manager, by providing him the questions that are then sent to Caleb. Caleb fills out the one-on-one, and now Carson and Caleb come to that one-on-one conversation totally prepared to talk about performance. Now, once we have these coaching conversations happening across the business, it's important to look at analytics and better understand who is actually coaching. So through Ambition, we're able to show you what roles where one-on-ones and coaching conversations are happening. And we're also able to show you attribution and say, okay, out of those weekly one-on-ones for your sales development representatives, as an example, are appointments set getting any better over that time? Well, because we're connected to your KPIs, we're able to attribute those to coaching conversations. And now you have visibility into if your coaching conversations are actually working. This is a game changer for enablement teams, ops teams who are running the coaching motion at scale, This now tells you what's working and not working. And perhaps it's not the frontline individual who's struggling. It's a manager who needs that training. Or perhaps it's across the entire org. This visibility, this data drives change. Hopefully, this is a great introduction to how an Ambition customer is using coaching. If you're interested in learning more, please request a demo. We'd love to share what's working for our customer base. Thank you.